What if every broken piece, every sudden shift, every surrendered moment, and every silent season was not random, but part of a master design shaping you into something greater than you imagined? Transformation begins in brokenness. It's a truth many try to avoid, yet it stands as a cornerstone in the journey of faith. For the one who walks in belief, brokenness is not a sign of weakness. It is an invitation to deeper revelation. In the shattered places of life, where strength runs out and human plans fall apart, something sacred happens. It is in these very moments that pride is silenced, independence is stripped away, and the heart becomes soft enough to be molded. No one seeks out brokenness, but when it arrives through loss, failure, betrayal, or weariness, it has the power to awaken a soul to what truly matters. Many of the greatest transformations recorded in Scripture and in life have not come at mountain peaks, but in valleys. It's in the wilderness, in the prison cell, in the lion's den, and on the stormy sea that hearts have been changed forever. Brokenness creates the space where people stop relying on themselves and start reaching for something beyond their own ability. In the cracks of a broken heart, light begins to seep in. There's an honesty that comes with pain, an honesty that strips away the masks and exposes what lies beneath. And only when what's beneath is seen can it be healed, renewed, and made whole. It's in brokenness that identity is redefined. What once gave security, status, relationships, comfort is often removed, forcing a soul to ask deeper questions. Who am I really? Why am I here? What was I made for? These questions, though painful, open the door to divine insight. And in the silence that often follows brokenness, the whisper of truth becomes clearer. It is here, in this sacred tension between despair and hope, that transformation is conceived. The religious heart knows this well. Every season of breaking carries the seed of becoming. No tear is wasted. No wound is without significance. What feels like an ending is often the beginning of something greater. The pain that once seemed unbearable becomes the very pathway to a stronger, wiser, and more purposeful life. When the pieces of life are scattered, it is not the end. It is the moment when the foundation for something eternal is being laid. There is a purpose behind every shift, even when the change feels confusing, painful, or unwanted. For those walking in faith, this truth is not just comforting, it is foundational. Life is not a series of random events, but a carefully woven narrative, with every scene allowed for a reason. What appears as disruption is often direction in disguise. The changes that unsettle us, the doors that close, the unexpected turns, they're all part of a design far greater than what the eyes can see. In the hands of the unseen architect, every shift carries intention. Sometimes, the course of life is altered without warning. A plan that once felt so certain crumbles overnight. A job ends. A relationship falls apart. Health takes a sudden turn. It's in these moments that faith is tested, because the natural reaction is to ask why. But the deeper truth is not always in the why. It's in the what for. What is this moment shaping in me? What is it moving me away from or toward? These are not merely trials to endure. They're transitions to embrace. The purpose behind them may not be visible now, but it is never absent. Throughout history and scripture, every major transformation began with a shift, a call out of comfort, a removal from the familiar, a disruption of normal. It is through the shifting that hearts are awakened, minds are renewed, and purposes are revealed. The faith journey was never promised to be static. It was meant to be a walk, one that evolves, progresses, and matures. And every shift is a step, guided by a divine hand that sees the end from the beginning. To the religious heart, nothing is wasted. The sorrow, the silence, the waiting, the loss. Every element is a tool in the hands of the master builder. Even delay serves purpose. Even detours lead somewhere. What feels like failure may actually be formation. The doors that closed were protection. The waiting was preparation. The loss was redirection. And when the dust settles, what often emerges is not just a new chapter, but a new version of the person, more aligned with the purpose they were born for. Change requires surrender. It cannot be manufactured by willpower alone, nor can it be sustained by fleeting emotion. In the life of a believer, transformation is not about self-improvement. It's about yielding. It's about laying down the desire to control outcomes, fix everything, and understand every detail. True and lasting change begins when the heart bows, when the spirit says, "Not my way," and hands over the pen to let a greater author continue writing the story. This kind of surrender is not weakness. It is strength cloaked in humility. Surrender is not always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to trust, even when nothing makes sense. It's found in the silent tears of someone letting go of their timeline. It's in the stillness after the storm, when a soul decides to keep believing despite the unanswered questions. The religious life is not one of control, it is one of dependence. The more tightly one holds to their own agenda, the more difficult transformation becomes. But when the grip is released, when the heart says, "I'm willing," the process begins. That's when the soil of the soul becomes ready for new growth. The challenge with surrender is that it often comes at a cost. It may require leaving comfort zones, releasing offenses, forgiving deeply, or stepping into the unknown. But every act of surrender invites something greater. When a person surrenders, they make room for a higher will to take over. They stop striving and start abiding. And in that abiding, new strength is given. New vision begins to form. The things that once defined them begin to fall away, and they are reshaped, refined, not by force, but by grace. To the one who is deeply spiritual, surrender is not a one-time event. It is a daily posture, a constant choosing to trust when fear knocks at the door, a decision to believe that the one who sees the end from the beginning is guiding each step, even when the path is unclear. And in that place of trust, transformation happens, not only in behavior, but in the heart itself. The stubborn becomes soft, the fearful becomes bold, the broken becomes whole, and all of it begins not with striving, but with surrender. The blueprint is already designed. Before a single breath was drawn, before the first cry echoed through time, there was a plan, a detailed, intentional design crafted with divine precision. Life is not unfolding randomly, nor are events spinning out of control. For the believer, there is confidence in knowing that each life carries a divine imprint, a heavenly architecture guiding every season, every encounter, every victory, and every valley. What feels like coincidence is often coordination by unseen hands moving with perfect timing and unmatched wisdom. There is great peace in understanding that nothing is catching heaven by surprise. Every twist in the road, every unexpected detour has already been accounted for in the blueprint. Even the delays are part of the design. The moments that feel like loss or failure are sometimes the very tools being used to shape something far more valuable than success. Character, endurance, humility, and depth. The plan is not just about arriving at a destination. It's about who a person becomes along the way. The details of the blueprint include not only purpose, but process. And in that process, refinement occurs. Often, people become anxious when they can't see the full picture. They long for clarity, for step-by-step instructions. But a blueprint isn't always handed over all at once. It's revealed piece by piece, moment by moment, through faith and obedience. What may seem like small, ordinary choices are actually divine alignments. A conversation, a door opened or closed, a prompting followed, all of it fits within a larger framework that has already been laid out. When hearts are sensitive, when spirits are in tune, they begin to see that nothing is wasted and everything is connected. This divine blueprint is not fragile. It is not dependent on perfection. Mistakes do not cancel it. Failures do not void it. Even detours are recalculated within it. For the deeply faithful, this truth brings freedom from fear and striving. The weight of having to figure everything out lifts, and in its place comes trust. Trust that the architect knows what he's doing. Trust that even when the structure feels incomplete, the foundation is firm. And when life seems like a collection of scattered moments, it is in fact the unfolding of a masterpiece, line by line, exactly as it was meant to be.